Hello there everyone, how's it going? It's Deedee here, and this video today is going to be a little bit more different than what I used to make. I just really wanted to talk about this. I was just thinking myself, the whole day about this, and I really wanted to have a little bit of a discussion about this expansion as a whole. More specifically this patch, the last patch, 5.4. This is probably the last patch of the expansion. From what we know about Blizzard, there's only going to be a little patch for a transition to the next expansion. So this is kind of the last season, at least, for this expansion. So I really just wanted to have a discussion about how I feel Warriors right now. How do I feel about this patch and the whole expansion? Because quite frankly, in a lot of my videos I am just saying, I am enjoying this season. I am enjoying this patch a lot. I am enjoying this season a lot, and I'm just every time I say this, I'm having discussions, and what I mean by discussion is not like I'm pounding on a guy and he's pounding me, we're just talking with a lot of people concerning Warriors. There's a lot of people that are saying that Warriors are broken, are overpowered right now, and I just really wanted to talk about that a little bit, and as an expansion as a whole as well on this patch. I think we can already say like what this expansion was, and quite frankly, I had fun. I had fun in this expansion. I met some people, I made some friends, and this was the expansion where I started this wonderful YouTube experience that I'm having so much fun with, and is probably, like I said so many times before, one of the best things that happened to my life recently. And it's when I started my YouTube experience. So in this expansion was kind of a special one for me. It was really fun, but quite frankly, seeing it as like in a PvP side, this whole Mists of Pandaria was actually bad. Let's just face it. I don't think there was even a single season. I'm talking 5.4, not including 5.4. So because this patch isn't really on like the latest days, it barely started already. There's people aren't even fully geared by now. Maybe some are, but the general population is not fully geared. So I'm not really still counting this patch. But quite frankly, this whole Mists of Pandaria expansion has been like, every season there's like one or two broken classes. Like last patch it was BM Hunters, Elemental Shamans. The first patch we had Warriors. We were completely overpowered. So I don't really feel like this expansion was that great in terms of PvP, and I did had a lot of fun with it. I know this kind of contradicts one thing to another, but it kind of is true. But as a warrior throughout the whole expansion, this just really represents how the warrior class kind of feels. It's a freaking roller coaster, man. It seems like we are only really good or really bad, and that's something that I say a lot in pretty much every discussion I have. That's Warriors, man. I don't think that we ever gotten, at least that I remember. I mean, at least in this expansion, I'm pretty certain of it. Like, we're either really good or really bad. So, and that kind of concerns me. And in this patch, this last final patch, 5.4, the one we're currently at, us Warriors are having a lot of shit. We're having a lot of shit from people. People are saying that Warriors are overpowered, Warriors are broken. I hear that so much, the Warriors are broken, and quite frankly, you guys can say that I'm biased, because I know I obviously do play the Warrior class, even in dark times to the best times. It is the class that I do love the most, so I do play Warrior the most, and quite frankly, you can say that I'm biased, that I'm defending my class, but I don't feel at all that we're broken. We're strong. We're definitely strong. We're strong, and we do need some tweaks. Hear me on that one, please. I'm not saying that we don't need changes, because we do. We're definitely strong in some areas, but we're not broken. No, we're not broken. To be honest, this patch, I mean, even if you agree, okay, even if you are one of the persons that are saying like that Warriors are overpowered in this patch, you just have to agree that I'm not saying that this patch is perfect, that this patch is a really good patch, but this has been the best we've had in this expansion. In Mists of Pandaria, this is probably the most balanced patch, and this is not a joke. I mean, even if you agree that that warriors are strong, that are overpowered and whatnot, you can really say that this is not being like the most balanced patch. I mean, you can say that we are as broken as 5.3 BM hunters were, or 5.1 warriors were, or elemental shamans as well in 5.3. I mean, we're not broken. I mean, I do understand where the frustration comes from. I'm not saying, I'm not really totally 100% defending the classes. We do need some changes. We are too strong right now. But it's just the word broken and overpowered that it's kind of even hurtful for someone who've played 5.2, you know, 5.3, where warriors were kind of shit, to be compared to what BM hunters were last patch. It's just not the case. We do need changes, but it's I think people are overreacting so much, and this season is just changing actually so much. You know, when the season first came, it felt so good. It felt like everything was pretty much balanced. You had a few weak classes that currently still are, like Shadow Priests. I do think Shadow Priests really need some love. Maybe Red Paladins a little bit too. But the beginning of the season was really good, really good. But like, it changed so much already with the coming of the weapons that even some comps kind of stopped working, like WLS. Man, WLS was the shit when this season first started. Right now it's even kind of it lost its viability just because shamans die so fast now with weapons. So this patch is changing a lot and really faster in ways that I didn't even predict. But anyways, where I do think that we need changes kinda is in the small things, because I can't really see some good nerfs to warriors that wouldn't hurt our class to the freaking ground again. So what I really think that should change is pretty much, like, a lot of people are complaining about our interrupts, and I do agree that we have too much interrupts. We have Disrupting Shout and Pummel, and I do agree that it hurts, man. It's hard to fake cast 2 spells, you know, it's hard to fake cast 2 interrupts. I do understand that. So I do think that we need like an internal cooldown between those abilities, between Pummel and Disrupting Shout. We need something we need like a shared cooldown, or for example, like, use Pummel, you can't use Disrupting Shouts, I don't know, 10 seconds or more, whatever. After, you know, Disrupting Shout. I do think we need something like that. Also, that applies to our reflex. I also do think that, honestly, I think that if these changes came, so many complaints would just stop, you know, and it wouldn't hurt our class too much, because I do think that this is kind of this is what our class is kind of strong in. I do think that we also need some internal cooldown between our 2 reflex, Mass Spell Reflection and Spell Reflect, and Spell Reflection, the normal one, also needs some kind of cooldown ability between them. I do agree on that one, but then again, if you think about it, in the reflection, talking about the reflection ability, if you think about it, it kind of is a high skill capped ability. It really is. Like, in Spell Reflection in the hands of a really good warrior can be devastating, can change the game, while you know, a normal warrior, it's not really, it cannot do that much. And that's like that's the paradox of what I do think the warrior class is right now, because where we really need nerfs, then again, that ability is, you have to use it good to be really good. I think you guys understand that. So I do think that will just fix a lot of stuff on our class without throwing it to the ground, and I do hope that they don't nerf us like to the freaking ground, as pretty much they always do. And I think one more change is, it's kind of a small one, but trust me, it does make a difference. I do think that, like, Bladestorm should not be disarmed. You already have a lot of counters to Bladestorm. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people will go crazy about this, but you do. Bladestorm does a lot of damage, but it's a freaking high risk ability to use. I mean, if consider this, like, if you pick Bladestorm for warriors that actually have Bladestorm, you are sacrificing all of your stuns. You're nothing but a damage bot. You don't have control besides your excuse me, shitty fear. You don't have control. You only have the damage, so it has to be good. It has to be good damage. I really don't think that the damage on Bladestorm should be reduced at all. Since you lose so much from picking that ability, you really do, trust me, I feel naked at times when I pick that ability. And it's supposed to, I like that, I think it's fine. But there's this small change that I do think we need like that. I don't think it should be disarmed, but I do think that if you are disarmed, you shouldn't be able to just Bladestorm out of it. Because you can right now, and that's kind of silly. And I do think that we need that change. I mean, why, if I'm disarmed, why should I be able to Bladestorm? But like, disarming a Bladestorm just counters it too much. I'm sorry, it's just true. We already lose a lot from picking Bladestorm, so I do think it's fine. And to be quite frankly, that ability is such a high risk ability. You have so many counters to it that you don't even have to like spend an important defensive cooldown for Bladestorm. You have dash, man. You can dash, you can heroic leap out, you know, movement abilities, sprint out. I don't know. I think you guys get what I'm saying. Like, Bladestorm is it already has a lot of counters, and we lose too much from it. So I don't think that's the problem, to be honest. It's not really the problem. It has to be good damage. It has to be some good damage in order to be worth using it to completely feel naked and have absolutely no control. But yeah. So yeah, guys, I just really wanted to throw it out there because I do understand that we need changes, but it's kind of almost hurtful to hear that like we're broken and whatever. You know, after these 2 seasons that were complete shit for us, it almost feels hurtful now that we're in a good spot, that so many people are like comparing us to what again BM Hunters and Elemental Shamans were last patch, because that's just really not the case. I mean, to do good damage we have to sacrifice, we have to not have CC, we have to feel naked for Bladestorm, and to have good CC, the Stormbolt and Shockwave, not only does it TR with each other anyway, but we do lose a lot of damage, so at least that. So anyways, these are the changes that I do really feel that should be in the game. We should have some internal cooldown between our interrupts and our spell reflex, and everything will be so much better. And I do feel like it, at least, like, because I do feel like a lot of people are complaining because of the interrupts. I really do feel like it. I mean, the mobility we have is just the same as it always were. I have no idea why people are saying that our mobility is crazy. It's really the same as it pretty much was since the beginning of this expansion. But anyways, I'm sorry for the ramble, guys. I'm really sorry for the very different video, but I just really felt the need to talk about this. I was just rambling on myself and I just decided, okay, I'm going to throw it out there. So yeah, guys, anyways, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Anyways, I did make this video to be a discussion, so just throw it at something that you want to say about this in the comments. Because I do like to hear, even if you are one saying that words are overpowered and whatnot. Why? I mean, I would like to hear that, so please leave a comment if you have something to say about this. And anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you